everyone. Welcome back. I'm Tom Camacho. This is going to be webinar number 12. These are Tuesdays with Tom, where we go over different aspects of fundraising, grant writing, all that good stuff for your nonprofit. This is a series that's going to go until August, and then I'm going to figure out what we're going to do next with it. They're going to be on my website, so you can always go in there and access, and they're titled, so you can go in and get the one you want. Just to let you know, I'm working on a book with a workbook in it so that you can fill out your own information about your organization under these separate titles, so you can have access to how you want to go forward with some of your planning and things with some of these campaigns and these fundraising strategies. So that will be coming up probably in late August or September. I think we should probably have something for you. If not the entire thing, we'll have something that you can start to work from to do your strategic planning. So I'm going to share my screen. By the way, my contact information will be at the end. Always feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, anything like that, or if you have ideas or something that you need with your organization and you want me to address it, we can certainly do that. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll get started. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Sorry, my computer's a little slow today. No, my computer's a lot slow today. You can do it. All righty then. Okay, so this is going to be this webinar is going to be on capital campaigns. So it's strategies to buy properties, buy equipment, big things like that. This is webinar number 12, and it's July 8th, 2026. Oh, and I had a feeling you were going to do that. So what is a capital campaign? Capital campaign is a targeted fundraising effort to raise a large sum of money in a set time. And the funds build lasting organizational assets like new facilities, growing an endowment, or major equipment, tractors, all that good stuff. Common uses are building projects, so building, a barn, or building a covered arena, or things like that. Assets purchased, buying land, property, or high-cost technology if you're going to get a huge server or something for your organization. And financial security and fund. We talked about endowment funds in the past. Those are accounts that are interest-bearing and help your organization. You can use the interest that you make on those investments for your operating expenses. Oh my gosh, this thing's slow today. All right. Common examples in action. Like I said, facilities, construction, and expansion. So putting in a round pen, things like that in your arena, or building an arena. Animal shelter builds a new adoption center as an example. A community center expands its physical footprint. Building the endowment. You'd say a university secures multi-year pledges to grow its scholarship fund and long-term stability. An example of large-scale equipment, it could be a hospital. I know we're mainly talking about horses and animal rescues and things like that, but certainly there could be equipment like that, like scales and things like that you might need for your rescue horses, or however that turns out. But a hospital or a clinic funds a new multi-million-dollar MRI machine. property acquisition. I'm working on one of these right now. It's a half acre tract that we're trying to purchase for a veterans program for PTSD for veterans and for first responders in Albuquerque. So a land trust buys a critical piece of wilderness to protect it from development. That's another kind of example. Program and geographic expansion. A social service organization raises capital to launch in a new city or region, so kind of franchising out your work and what you're doing into another area. Key features. It's a structural focus. It centers on large one-time physical or structural goals. There's a fixed timeline to these. They're set to finish within a fixed number of years. And yes, they do take years, sometimes up to 5 or 6 years to get through these campaigns. So it's an investment in time. It's separate from your operations, so it's kept apart from your regular daily operating costs and your capital. So you're going to have to bite out your time or hire somebody to come on it and help you with that campaign. Oh, this thing is so slow. I'm so sorry. All right. There's 3 phases to the campaign. So your first phase is going to be your planning phase, and that's a 3 to 9 month period where you're going to build the foundation of the campaign, and you're going to run a feasibility study, create your case for support. It's kind of like a business plan. So you're going to set your financial goals, and you're going to identify your top prospects of where you're going to go to look for the money. Next, the next phase is 6 to 12 months in. It's called the quiet phase, and this is where you secure 50 to 80% of the goal privately through major and lead gifts before actually launching it and going to the public. So you're going to already have that money put to the side so that when you go and launch it, people know that you've already got people that are investing and you have buy-in already, and it's not just going to be money going into something that they're not sure is going to be sustainable. The public phase, this would only be like a 2-year commitment on this one, but like I said, they go up to 5, sometimes even beyond that, depending on some of the large university grants that were raising multi-millions. Yeah, that could be 5 or 6 years. So in the public phase, you're going to announce the campaign community-wide and collect the remaining funds. So the 50 to 80%, the other 50 to 20% you're going to raise to get you across the finish line at the 2 years on this one. I had put in here that capital campaigns typically run 2 to 3 years, which is correct, but I just wanted to give you the example of it. On the longer ones, they can go up to 5. The ideal length of them, it depends on the goal size and the organizational scale. So if you're looking to raise, $6 million, it's going to take longer, obviously. So what happens in each phase? So in the planning phase, for the first initial 3 to 9 months, you're going to access organizational readiness. So you're going to make sure that you're in a place to be able to do the campaign. You're going to run a feasibility study. Is this even a feasible plan or idea? Is it something that people are going to invest in to help you? Yeah. Next is you're going to create a case for support. So that's kind of your almost business plan to show the importance of what you're doing, what your impact's going to be, what you're looking to achieve. You're going to set your financial goals in your budget. Is it a $300,000 capital campaign, or is it a $4 million campaign? You're going to identify your top prospective donors. So just start to identify people in your kind of in your target area, things that people who've donated before that might be wealthy, or looking to corporations and things like that to possibly do that. So doing that research. The next is the quiet stage. This is where you're going to build that 50 to 80% of your monies on this before it goes public. You're going to engage your board members and your key stakeholders. Everybody knows somebody, so have everybody that is aligned with your organization be involved with this, and step out and make those requests for you. Tell them that this is coming up and have them ask if they'd like to invest. Then you're going to meet one-on-one with major donors. This is not an email campaign, so you don't want to just send out blanket emails to try and raise $2 million to buy a parcel of land. You're going to talk to these people one-on-one. You're going to really, everything is about relationship building with fundraising, but this is really that. This is that sitting down with investors and, taking them out to lunch or whatever. You're going to secure the lead in major gifts privately. A lot of these investors like this, or not investors, but donors, want to stay anonymous. So you want to make sure that you honor that, because a lot of the times they're inundated with requests once something goes out like this, and if you make that public, they're not gonna like it. So that's the stage again where you're going to raise 50 to 80% of your goal, and you're going to build your critical early momentum. So having those conversations with those prospective donors and building the funds early. Then it goes public. You're going to host a public kickoff event, and there could be a lot of things. You could do it as a gala even, but usually it's just a kind of a big party, and you go up and you'll have a stage, and you'll be able to present exactly what you're trying to do, and then ask donors there, or just give out information about what you're doing. So when you do that feasibility study in the planning stage and the case for support, have that stuff available. So either a QR code or just paper. Just have brochures out there that you can hand out at that kickoff event. Here's where the emails and digital appeals can come in. I'm not a big fan. I like to do really personable and face-to-face contact if I can do it. I know it's a public campaign, but I would much rather have an event and talk to people where you can kind of show your heartstrings and what you're trying to achieve, rather than something written. People are tired of reading, I think. You're going to invite mid-level and smaller gifts. The $10 is $10, and if 100 people give you $10, that's okay. That'll raise money that way. So, don't go for just the big money. Even with your grants, don't do that. People looking at the Ford Foundation, it's very hard to get that grant, and people just want to jump on that rather than going for the smaller ones and building, like your grant portfolio. But this is not about grants; it's about this. But you're gonna just go for the mid-level too, and go for the small ones. It's all cash. So you're gonna finalize and collect your pledges. Make sure that you get your donor letters so that they get their write-off from the IRS and all that good stuff. And then you're going to thank the donors, and you're going to track the impact. It's a lot like when you're reporting for your grants. You want to do maybe in your annual report or something like that. If you do that, or just emails, let people know the impact that their money made. Even the people that were giving you the $10, even if you do that through through an email or however you do it on social media, or different ways that you get your information out. Make sure you do that, though. Make sure you track that impact and say, just thank you is the best thing to get repeat funding. So timeline and cost, like I said, 2 to 3 years is kind of standard. It can be longer. Um, the if you're going to hire somebody to do it, or just you count on 5 to 10% of the goal going towards the effort itself. So that's going to go into the campaign um, if it's a consultant fee or other campaign costs, doing your events, your benefits or whatever, where you're talking about what you're doing and all that good stuff. It just count on 5 to 10%. And when you're doing your budgeting and your financials for the capital campaign, just put that in there. So just put an extra, 7-10% on top of what you're doing, and just say it's fundraising costs. So that's capital campaigns versus marketing campaigns. So capital campaigns focus strictly on nonprofit fundraising. They raise capital to build lasting assets, so your land, your buildings, cultivate deep major donor relationships. So that's a really big one, because it's those relationships. If you really kind of nurture those and cultivate those, that can turn into a legacy gift down the line. So you remember we talked about that before. They're with the probate attorneys and things like that, and they can give you a part of their estate. So we build those relationships. Time-bound goal measured in years. The commercial marketing campaigns, they're emotional, and you can kind of, with your capital campaigns, you can use marketing strategies. A lot of times, it really helps out. It's kind of the same thing, especially if you're looking at corporations and things like that you're going to have as major donors. Humor, thinking about the commercial marketing, Old Spice commercials, like, I don't remember what it is, something smell like a man, or I don't know, but you can do funny little things like that, and kind of raise awareness. Um, Personalization, just kind of, those are just kind of some of the examples of it. But the main thing with it, the main takeaway from this is to really cultivate those donor relationships. But no matter how you spin that. All right. So that's kind of it. I just wanted to give it. This wasn't a real long one today, but if you have any questions about these, I can definitely help you with those. Um, Core takeaways, purpose and examples. These capital campaigns fund asset building, construction, property, long-term financial stability through endowments and expansion. Um, there's 3 phases to them. There's the planning stage that sets the foundation of the campaign. There's the quiet stage where you secure the major donors, and then there's the public stage where you finish up. Um, the, the features and costs, like I said, always kind of budget in that 5 to 10%. I like to go in the center of that, about 7%, just going in, depending on the campaign. If it's going to be you're going to be looking at high-end donors looking to raise, your $7 million or whatever that is. It's going to be even higher than that, because you're going to want to do high-end events, where, I used to work for the Joffrey Ballet, and it was $25,000 just to get into those. So, yeah. And versus the marketing. Capital campaigns build funds and donor relationships. Commercial marketing builds brand perception and sales. But it's a similar strategy. So you can use marketing ideas to do your capital campaign. Have fun with it, or pull heartstrings, or whatever that is. You can use marketing strategies are absolutely fantastic for building this. I like the humor end of it. If you do it that way, I think it's very effective. So anyway, this is my contact information again. Like I said, all of these webinars are on my website. So that's equinehealingartsfundraising.com, which I'm going to shorten that, but it's actually just Equine Fundraising Services. If you do a Google search, it comes up pretty much right on top. So you can go in there, and they're all free. You can go look at them. And then we're going to give access to the workbook, which will be a little fee. I'm not sure what that's going to be yet. But that should be done, like I said, in probably September sometime. There's my phone number on top, and there's my email address. So contact me if you have any questions about this webinar, any other webinar. If you want to see a webinar that something that you are doing with your organization that you're having a little bit of difficulty with, or you're unsure about, just reach out. We'll put that together, because probably other people are having the same kind of dilemma or whatever with it. It's not always easy to fundraise, so you'll probably be addressing something that somebody else really needs to. So, like I said, reach out anytime. I'm always here, and thanks again for watching. We'll see you next week.